It is quite natural that tastes differ. It seems that oil prices will come down soon. It is said that elephants have good memories. It never occurred to me that I could be an artist. It doesn't matter if you are late. It goes without saying that exercise good for your health. I found it hard to keep a diary in English. I took it for granted that he would be better soon. It took her 2 years to write the novel. It will cost me over $10,000 to get a new car. It has been 5 years since she wrote her first novel. It will not be long before the snow melts. It is easy for birds to fly in the sky. It is very kind of you to come. The meeting is to be held in Tokyo. I was about to go out when the phone rang. Diet and exercise have to do with good health. My plane failed to arrive on time. He sat in the front in order to be able to hear my speech. He was kind enough to drive me home. He walked too fast for me to follow. I looked back only to find no one there. She couldn't help laughing at his joke. You'll soon get used to living alone. There's no telling what will happen next. There is no point in discussing the problem. Okinawa is worth visiting once. I am in the habit of reading books every day. He makes a point of walking 10,000 steps a day. Feeling tired, Bill went to bed earlier than usual. Shocked at the sight, she couldn't move. The winter being over, the snow started to melt. All things considered, it's a good town. Judging by the expression on her face, she is very surprised. She looks young considering her age. Henry Faber spent 80 years studying insects. She had great difficulty walking in her new shoes. You just have to fill in your password. I have yet to read the last few chapters. John used to live near the ocean. When I was a child, I would often play outside. He must have left his mobile phone on the train this morning. He may well be interested in Japanese history. The station is not far from here. We may as well walk. You would better carry a pass. I saw a girl walking toward me. She heard her name called from behind. My mother made me finish my homework before supper. My mother forced me to eat a lot of vegetables. I will have my secretary send you a copy. She got her child to sleep by reading books. Jane had her bicycle stolen in the park. He helped me find the post office. There are many people standing in front of the store. Can you make yourself understood in English? John kept me waiting for a long time. He was sitting on a bench with his eyes closed. Heaven helps those who help themselves. I gave her what little information I had. Reading is to the mind what food is to the body. John is not what he was 10 years ago. Studying is what college life is all about. Tell me what your trip to Seoul was like. He is what we call a walking encyclopedia. This blog is interesting and what is more, very instructive. I said nothing, which made him angrier. She is crazy about tennis, which love I do not share. Mike was late coming, as is often the case with him. A man who I thought was unkind helped me. John is as handsome as Bill. The USA is 25 times as large as Japan. My brother's room is 10 times the size of mine. He is as hardworking as any student in his class. Nothing is as important to children as their own birthday. Learning is not so much a duty as a right. The population of Tokyo is larger than that of Washington, D.C. The harder he worked, the more successful he became. I like the story all the more because it is true. Bill can no more swim than a hammer can. Sleep is no less important for your health than food. The memory card is no bigger than a stamp. If I were a bird, I would fly to my first love. If she had been a boy, she would have been named Ken. If it should rain, the concert will move indoors. If I were to live again, I would like to be a scientist. If it were not for the snow, the plane could take off. Without language, there would be no thought. I wish I could sing like her. I would rather go to the gym than go to the movies. That boy talks as if he were a grown-up. It's about time I was leaving. A man of sense would not say such a thing. Very few students could solve this problem. His paper contains few, if any, errors in spelling. Mars is not a star but a planet. This radio is not only cute but also functional. Dog food is not necessarily good for dogs. I don't like him only because he is handsome. We cannot be too careful in crossing the street. She never bakes a cake without burning it. His story is far from true. Who knows what will happen next? He would be the last person to speak badly of others. My sister knows better than to cheat in the exam. Every member worked hard so that his team would win. Bill was so excited that he couldn't be still. It was such an exciting game that I forgot to take pictures. Take an umbrella in case it rains. He wrote it down lest he forget it. On arriving at the station, I called a friend of mine. As soon as he got home, he turned on the TV. He had hardly reached the station when it began to snow. No sooner had I sat down on the sofa than the phone rang. We had not waited long before our bus came. It was last week that Mike bought a bike at the store. What we need is world peace, not food. All you have to do is click this button. You can be whatever you want to be. Little did I dream of seeing you again here. So hard did the wind blow that I couldn't walk. It was not until I was 30 that I started to ski. I like coffee, so do I. I don't like coffee, neither do I. It is true that he is very old, but he is healthy. Even if it rains tomorrow, I will go to the movies. Whether you like it or not, he is our leader. To solve the problem is difficult, if not impossible. I'm going to school today no matter what happens. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, you are welcome. Angry as he was, he tried to smile. Tom has remained poor while his brother has made a fortune. I have two hobbies, one is cycling and the other is fishing. Some people said yes and others said no. Suppose that you can't come, who will do the work? You can stay here as long as you keep quiet. As far as we knew, she was the best doctor. As far as I'm concerned, I won't change my mind. Shopping is difficult in this area unless you have a car. The fact is that I like comedies. Chances are they'll be out when we call. Let's take a walk together. After all, it's a lovely day. Now that summer is over, we have a busy schedule. That mistake cost him his job. A moment's thought will tell you that you are wrong. This street will take you to the school. The heavy rain prevented me from going home. My volunteer work keeps me very busy. His medicine will make you feel better. He thinks they should act soon and that it's the best solution. Cold chicken is delicious when eaten with salad.